season 2, episode 4. Actually, this is my 6th edition of Vegas Ventures Off. Now we're gonna go to Missouri, Branson, Missouri. Actually.
Hey, Coyal, how's it going? It's so great to be on your show, man. All right. Well, my podcast is basically for brand new entrepreneurs that are less than a year in their business. And I do that basically to give them an opportunity to get onto a platform for free, because I don't charge anything for anything that I do here. Give them
real topics, real business with real owners. This is definitely where we talk about the here and now of our listeners. You tuned into season 2, episode 4. Actually, this is my 6th edition of Vegas Ventures Off. Yes, if you've been following me, you know we've been to California, we've been to Wisconsin, Georgia, Ohio, and we also have been to Virginia. Now we're going to go to Missouri, Branson, Missouri, actually. And we're going to have a conversation with Jesse Blunt, known as DJ SKOOB. Yes, sir. Famous DJ SKOOB. You can tune into his podcast, Undiscovered Entrepreneur. Just very good podcast. He is same genre what I does. He's interviews small business owner across. He has no limits. He's everywhere. So I have DJ SKOOB, owner of Undiscovered Entrepreneur, straight from Branson, Missouri. DJ SKOOB, I thank you for joining us in Vegas. Introduce yourself to the audience.
Hey, Coyal, how's it going? It's so great to be on your show, man.
Thank you. How's everything going with you?
Well, you know, it's funny. We're snowed out right now as we speak. I haven't been to work in 2 days. I've been stuck in my apartment. But I'm making the best of it. It's all good. It's just that time of year, you know?
Oh man, look at you. You're snowed out there, and we're here in like the 50s, and we're crying when it's 40 degrees and you're snowed in. So tell us now about, Undiscovered Entrepreneur. Let us know how long you've been podcasting and the story behind SKOBELIEVERS. So let the audience know about your podcast.
All right. Well, my podcast is basically for brand new entrepreneurs that are less than a year in their business. And I do that basically to give them an opportunity to get onto a platform for free, because I don't charge anything for anything that I do here. Give them a chance for a little bit of exposure, and I get to learn from them, and the people that listen to get to learn from them, and we all just kind of win as far as that goes. As far as the SKOBELIEVERS things go, that's actually one of my favorite things. My SKOBELIEVERS are what I call my tribe. All the people that I interview, anybody that listens, we're all SKOBELIEVERS. And that came from, my name is DJ SKOOB, right? And I'm a big Stan Lee fan. So he calls his tribe True Believers. So I called mine SKOBELIEVERS. And it kind of worked out really well, and seems to stick.
I love the show. I'm actually a fan and a SKOBELIEVER myself, and I love how you introduce your guests with the SKOBELIEVERS. Now, how long again have you been podcasting with the Undiscovered Entrepreneur?
I want to say technically about 6 months. There was 3 months there. I was doing a different show, and I had to unfortunately shut that show down because of some family issues that I had. So I had to rebrand to the show that we're looking at now, which is the Untitled Entrepreneur. So, but all in all, probably about 6, probably going on 7 months now.
No, it looks like it turns out for the best for you. If you listen in audience, if you tune into Undiscovered Entrepreneur, which is DJ SKOOB's podcast, it's very intellectual podcast. It is business savvy. I mean, you definitely can learn a lot. Not only that, if you're looking for services that offered by some of his guests, there are real great services. It was 2 guests that really struck me. That was real good conversations. And that was with Angela, the professional organizer, and then Anna Jean, the bookkeeper, the bookkeeping. Those were two good conversations. How do you go along finding these quality guests that own these small businesses?
That's actually a pretty cool thing. I actually go on to Facebook groups, mainly Facebook groups that are geared towards entrepreneurs. And then as I go along, I kind of still, put a little bit of effort into talking to people and giving my knowledge and that kind of thing. But every once in a while, you get a person that says, "Hey, I'm new. Can you help me?" And that's when I say, "Hey, I can help you by putting you on my podcast, giving you that free exposure. And then we can all learn from each other." Angela Caddy was awesome. She is a professional organizer. I didn't know that was a thing until I started talking to her, so that was really cool. And Anna Jean was just amazing. She does some great things for herself as far as puts herself out there, and she kind of takes on the jobs that nobody else wants. And that really makes a big difference in kind of sectioning her out from everybody else. So.
Most definitely. Both of them were real excellent candidates that anyone would love to have on their team. You can tell that they love what they're doing, the passion, and that was a great experience. You definitely have an easy listening podcast, and it's very educating. It's one thing I love about it. I was actually binging today, searching for some of your new material that you have uploaded, and one of them was very interesting with Dr. Sahara. That was a real great conversation. I want to thank you for even meeting her and putting that on air. That was real good. I listened to that one, especially when you guys got deep into about mentors and changing lives. That was a good conversation with Dr. Sahara.
Dr. Sahara was probably one of the most amazing people I've talked to, and she really it's kind of what she does is a very male-dominated construction. But she gets in there just like anybody else. And from what I'm hearing, she can work just as good as any man that's out there, too. So she was really great. And another one that I'd really like you to listen to is the newest one, my episode 9, which is J. Robert Parker, a hypnotherapist. And he was amazing to talk to as well.
All right. Yeah, I'm definitely checking that out. You guys got to check it out too. Undiscovered Entrepreneur is a great podcast. It's interviewing small business owners. One thing you guys mentioned on that interview that was real funny was when she was mentioned about buying the cigarettes. I loved it because how you guys went off into real life topics, but stayed on point. And when she mentioned that, I died because I can relate. For when I remember those days when you could buy cigarettes down at the corner store, when the owner knew that your parents and you went in with a little note or whatnot. that was touching home right there when you guys was talking about that. And that was good content right there. I want to commend you for that one, DJ SKOOB. Good job on that.
Yeah, that was definitely a lot of fun. I liked listening to her story from growing up, where she really wanted to get in there, even though she wasn't a boy. Her dad wouldn't let her. And then finally dad kind of gave in and realized that she can take care of herself, even though she's a girl. So it was amazing.
That was. Now, let me know about sponsorships. How do you go about doing sponsorships yet that you are starting podcasts real early? You do have a professional sounding podcast. Another commend to you and hats off for being in the game so early and sounding so good. How do you go about getting sponsorships, and what is some best advice for those that are listening that are interested, or even podcasting doesn't have sponsorship yet?
This early on, getting sponsors itself is a little bit difficult. The one sponsor I do have is actually from my episode 2 called Elementary Analytics. And after talking with him about his software, he decided to make me an affiliate for his software, which when somebody goes through my website, my affiliate link that's in all my show notes, and they decide to buy the product, I get a percentage of that. So that's how I make a little bit of money that way.
Okay.
Other ways to do it, there's a website you could go on called Podcorn. And that's actually a lot of companies that get together and just go on one website where you can go there and kind of choose and kind of price yourself in there. And if they accept you, you get a certain amount of money for how many spots you put in. So there's a way. I'm not doing that yet. I'm kind of choosing to kind of build up a little bit before getting to that point. But there's always ways to do things. I'm big on affiliate links. If you go to my website, which is uepodcast.net, and go to the resources page, I have just about every book that I've read up to this point of how I became an entrepreneur. And I leave those out there for you all to use, as well as some of the software that I use to run my show.
I love it. Now, that's a good man right there, DJ SKOOB, sharing best practices, also knowledge and wisdom on how to also start your own ventures. That's very good. I love that you said that at the end, that you spread the knowledge for those who want to try. Because I was just about to mention when you said something about Podcorn, I actually have Podcorn also, but I haven't, really got into it or even started even sponsorship myself. So when you were talking, I was just about to ask you, how is it going? And you said, man. So, the reason I'm saying that is for the audience, that even us talking together, there's always something new to learn and best practices to be shared. Don't be afraid to do that. And I like that you're doing that, DJ SKOOB, just of how we met, and those who knowing we've met from networking. And I've been on networking this whole month. And DJ SKOOB and we've met through networking, through Twitter, which is very fortunate because now we're here discussing podcasts, which he does. He have a great podcast. Now, DJ SKOOB, are you really a DJ?
No, I'm not a DJ. I'm working on it though. It's still something I really want to do with my life. A little story behind that. When I first started my entrepreneur adventure, I actually wanted to be a karaoke DJ and a music DJ. But when I got started, I was starting from ground zero. I had absolutely nothing, no equipment. I didn't even have a microphone. So what I wanted to do is I decided to start a GoFundMe page so I can build up some income and get the equipment that I needed. And it bombed. It completely bombed. I only made a couple $100 in a couple months, and I guarantee that was my mom just chipping in a couple dollars in there just so I didn't feel so bad. And so after that, I decided to do some research how to actually do a GoFundMe page for the right way, because obviously just jumping in there and just hoping everybody will show up, it doesn't work that way. So I read somewhere. Well, I listened somewhere. I listen to my books. I don't read my books, so I'm getting kind of bored. So I heard somewhere in a book that starting a successful GoFundMe page, you could do it by starting a podcast. And I thought, oh, okay, that's cool. I could do a podcast. Why not? So after diving into the podcast for a little while, I realized that I love the podcasting so much, I almost completely forgot about doing the whole DJ karaoke thing and just immersed myself into podcasting. I've been doing that ever since. But I have not forgot about my dream of being a DJ.
Right. That's right. And you are going to be a DJ. It's one thing too I want to mention to you when I was listening to the last your episode with DJ Sahara. I've noticed because from what we know, it's been a month going on since our first conversation. And then from that month when I listened to your episodes to now your new ones, you've evolved. I want to let you know that. I can tell that you've learned a lot. You evolved. I can tell your voice. It's like, dude, this man right here is just going up and up. Good job on that, DJ SKOOB. Keep doing a good job.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate that. Yeah, I always go back every once in a while and listen to my first couple episodes just to remind myself where I came from and how far I've progressed. And I always I don't like to compare myself to other people. I like to compare myself to myself. And I really think that's the way to do it. Right. If you start comparing yourself to other people, you're never going to really live up to that mark, because you're always that step behind. But if you compare yourself to yourself, it gives you more of a motivation than just like, oh, I can't make it. I'm not going to be able to get to that point. But if you look back and see yourself and feel yourself and hear yourself progressing, you know that you're actually making those right moves.
That's right. I don't think they understand how easy it is until you actually just start, the actual thing. And like when you said you had started the first podcast and switched over, it looks like, everything's working out for the best for you. So with that experience and then where you're going right now, which is definitely at a fast rate to the top, what advice would you give someone who's interested in doing podcasting and really just afraid or thinking they can't afford it or thinking that they need all these bells and whistles and that's stopping them from starting? What advice would you have for them that's really simple?
Start. It's that simple. Just start. The level of entry is very low right now, where you can just pick up your cell phone and go live, and you're working and you're starting it. If you're kind of unsure about it and unsure how you're going to sound, do just a sound check with yourself. Nobody else is going to hear it. Just see how you like it and how you feel. And if you could get comfortable with the recordings and things like that, you don't have to put it out there yet. Heck, my first interview was with my son, and all we did was talk about his new job that he started the other day. And I just kind of messed with it, got comfortable with that. So it's really not as hard as most people will think it would be to actually get started in podcasting. If you have something that you'd like to talk about that your friends go, will you stop talking about that? You're just talking about it too much. You have a subject for a podcast. Now, the other thing I'd like to say is one thing when it comes to starting things, and it's really special to me, is what I say in all my programs. And my 6-year-old son said this. He's 15 now. But when he was 6, he said, I can, I am, I will, and I'm doing it today. And that's actually my tagline that I got from him. And he's lived by it all up through, he's in high school now. He still talks about it all the time. I have it plastered up on my wall here at my place. It just means so much to me that you just got to get started, and you start today. You don't start next week. You don't start, tomorrow. You start now, like right now, like stop listening to this and go right now. No, I'm just kidding. We still want to listen to this, but yeah. So it's really important to actually just get started.
That's right. Oh man, that's good advice. This is great advice. Actually, you couldn't have said it no better. Now, DJ SKOOB, Undiscovered Entrepreneur. If someone is owning a small business and wants to get on your show, even likewise, someone's probably even listening that's been on my show and want more exposure. Do you have a limit of where you have to live or where you have to be a guest for a small business owner on your show? Or are you open to, anything worldwide?
Oh, I'm definitely worldwide. As a matter of fact, episode 2 was with Philip Hughes. He actually lives in the UK. The only limit I have as far as that goes is just trying to get times down, because that time shift, like 6-8 hour difference, sometimes gets in the way. But besides that, I'm really up to just about anybody. So if you're a brand new entrepreneur that's less than a year in a business, and I don't care where you are in the US, if you're in Asia, if you're in Africa, South America, Greenland, I don't care. If you if you want to talk, I'm really here for you.
Yes, sir. He says if you're on SpaceX, contact DJ SKOOB, no matter where you're at. All right. Now, before we get into our next segment, which is our this and that game, why don't you let all the audience know how can they contact you or reach you and all your social media handles also?
Absolutely. Okay, so if you want to get a hold of me directly, you can always email me at uepodcast2021@gmail.com. If you want to reach me on Twitter, you could reach me at DJ SKOOB, that's SKOOB 2021. And if you want to see everything I got going on, like I said earlier, you could visit my website at uepodcast.net. Please join my email list. I have a couple things going there. And if you want to hear any new stuff that's happening with me and you want to keep informed as far as that goes, please join my email list that's on my website.
Yes, you heard it, DJ SKOOB. You guys love his podcast. I mean, I love it. I binge on it. Most likely when we finish this, I'm going to go to that episode he told me to go check out. Tune in. You'll love it. Same thing. If your audience and you love my podcast, Visit Vegas Places with Coyal, you will definitely love Undiscovered Entrepreneur. So just binge off of all small business owners because they're just so intelligent to listen to. These are the future of the next world. These are our next billionaires. We're actually interviewing our next billionaires. Do you understand that, DJ SKOOB?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's why I want to get into these brand new entrepreneurs so they understand that we all are a family. We're all just getting started and we're all looking to get to that billionaire place. And, it's always nice to get onto the ground floor with somebody, and be a good friend to them. So.
That's right. Good man. Good man. So we're going to get into this or that. Yes, sir. This is this or that. Rocking with Vegas. We're going to check out DJ SKOOB and we're going to pick his brain and see what he prefers, this or that. Okay. So DJ SKOOB, with this or that, let us know when you're listening to podcasts as a fan, not as DJ SKOOB, but as a fan and you're surfing through podcasts, would you prefer the Spotify platform or the Apple Podcast platform?
To be completely honest with you, I'm definitely a Spotify guy. It just seems to work a lot easier for me, and I don't have to jump through hoops to get things, up and running as far as that goes. Apple seems to be a little bit harder to kind of get what I need from them, and I don't know if it's because I don't have an Apple product, which probably has something to do with it. Right. But yeah, I would definitely go with Spotify just because it's a little bit easier for me to deal with.
Gotcha. And that is a good point. I'm glad you did mention that we on the podcast. I'm an Android guy. Definitely I'm with you on the Spotify answer while we're still on that. But on the Apple thing, when I joined Buzzsprout, when I did start my podcast, I was on every platform except Apple. And and it's funny, when I first started, that was the first platform I wanted to get on. It's like, dude, who in the podcast business doesn't want to be on Apple? That is your first thing you're thinking. So I'm like, why am I not on Apple? So I did everything. You know how you the directory, when you go through all that, I did everything properly. I built my Apple ID, and it's just keep giving me this message. I need to complete some stage, whatnot. I put on a card on my account. I'm on weekends. I'm literally on weekends calling Apple. So I'm like, dude, what do you? Can I just provide you with my RS feed and you do it for me? Dump it in there. So I'm like, dude, what is going on? So what's crazy is when I'm calling Apple, they don't have a podcast department, for the podcast. That's what I find that out. So this is also making me more like, oh God, this is not going to happen. So they're like, cool, you got to go to these little support pages, which is they direct you to the support pages, which is their technical support is actually the internet. And you can't get so far if you're not, set up with your Apple ID. So in my head, it took me a while. I gave up. Then 2 more weeks came by. I'm like, you know what? Let me try it again. I tried it. They couldn't figure it out. They're like, dude, we do see your ID, but you have to complete the next step. So I'm thinking, like, you know what? My kids even told me, like, Dad, you don't have a Apple product. My kid told me that. Because it's funny, my whole household, all the kids, they were all Apple. They have iPhones and stuff. I'm the only one with the Android. I have a Galaxy S21 Note. So I love it because of the pictures. Nothing against Apple. But to make a long story short, for my birthday, which passed in November, my brother, he bought me an Apple iPad. So he was like, you need this. What you're doing, you need this. I'm like, dude, I've never had an Apple product. And granted, I worked for Apple before. So I worked for Apple at call centers. I was there when they started the CSAT surveys. So I'm like, dude, this was pissing me off. That, like, I even I wrote a bad survey and they didn't even contact me. It's like they cut me off. It's like I wrote a bad survey and they literally cut me off. And I'm like, these are the last people that I want to upset. I want to be on your platform. I don't want to upset you. But anyways, I get the Apple iPad all set up. And then when I set up through the Apple iPad, I went on my computer to set up to go back, and I'll be damn if it bing. I got a message to my Apple iPad, and it gave me this code. When I put the code in, everything just loaded up in Apple, and I was ready to go. Man, I was marketing, posting that day like I am on Apple. And you're right. At the end of the day, I'm here to tell you you're right. You need an Apple product. I love my iPad. To be honest with you, I should have been bought it. So I would have, been bought it because my wife, she's the Apple guru. My wife has everything Apple. I have to use all her stuff when it has anything pertaining to Apple. All the family members, when they'll be texting, we're in a group text, and they have Apple. So there's pictures that my wife's like, you didn't see this? And I'm like, how? I'm not seeing the picture, but I see the text thread. Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, because I guess, because the difference of the phone. But that's funny that you mentioned that. But yes, you do need an Apple product, and you won't be upset once you do get one.
That's great. That's awesome. Well, it is what it is, my friend. What are you going to do?
Right. But all right. So the next one went off in a little tangent. The next one for this or that for DJ SKOOB. If you had a paid vacation to go anywhere you want, on them for a full week, no expenses, all expenses covered for you. Would you pick Los Angeles or Las Vegas?
I would actually have to say Los Angeles. And the reason why I'm saying Los Angeles, Vegas. I'm sorry. I always get those two mixed up. I want to say Vegas. I want to say Vegas, not because I'm on your show, because that would be, partial. But
okay.
But the other thing is my dad.
Thank you.
Yeah, my dad lives in Sparks, Nevada, so I would be able to visit my dad at the same time because I haven't seen him in a really long time, and so that way I get to see Vegas and I get to see my dad. So it's a twofer.
That's right. Sparks, Nevada. I know Sparks, Nevada. I've used to go through there. Sparks is no joke. You better know somebody that lives there if you knocking on their door. You better know somebody there in Sparks. But I know exactly where Sparks is, and I'm glad you picked Vegas. Thank you. Yeah. So our next one, this or that. Now, when you're on platforms and you're surfing, and say if you want to look for guests. Would you prefer the platform of Instagram or LinkedIn if you're searching for guests?
That's a rough one because I'm terrible at both. I'm a Facebook, Twitter guy, so like both of those are like a whole different language for me. So I would probably at this point have to say LinkedIn just because that's where most entrepreneurs are, and that's where they hang out, and that's where all their profiles are, in comparison to the two. So if I had to choose between Instagram and LinkedIn, I would go LinkedIn just for that point.
Okay, yeah, I will pick LinkedIn myself. It's a good quality and very professional, very business on LinkedIn, and trustworthy people also. But that is cool. We got to get you on LinkedIn, man. We got to get you on all those social medias. We really need you on Facebook. It's funny that you say that. It's like even podcast owners like you that I know, and there's other ones I know that are just strictly on Twitter or strictly on certain platforms. And they're very entertaining and interesting and also active. And in my head, I'm active on all platforms. So where I'm going is I can be on Facebook, and I'm thinking like, dude, I can use some DJ SKOOB in Facebook. He will be good with his stuff on here. So when you think about it, all these other platforms, they need that. So we need to get you on these platforms, man.
I'll try. I've been messing around with Reels on Instagram, and I don't know. The algorithms on those Reels are really weird because, like, I have one thing that hits for like seven or 800, impressions. Then I'll do almost the exact same thing, just with a little different, sound or something, and it's like 2. It just doesn't make any sense at all how that works. So it's just
right.
It's a mystery.
It's a beast. They want different product. I know that much. They want different product and they want a lot of it. So you do got to feed the beast.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. Yeah, I'm working on it.
So, all right. So our next one, we're going to get into see how very, very Vegas you are, DJ SKOOB.
Oh, boy.
I know you are in Branson, Missouri. And we're going to see how very, very Vegas you are. And we're going to take it light with you, okay? All right. So this one, name 3 motion picture movies filmed in Las Vegas. All I need is 3.
3.
Not part 1, part 2, and part 3, with 3 different movies.
Well, so much for that idea.
Filmed in Las Vegas.
Golly. I'm drawing a blank here. Hang on a second. Vegas. Vegas.
No problem.
Vegas.
You got this. I know your movie.
Oh, they're all killing me right now.
Like,
they're all like, because I can't even think of a single one here.
Man. I can slide one to you. One of them, I'll even give you a hint. One of them is, actually, Ocean's 11. Ocean's 13. Yeah, Ocean's 11.
So is that count at 3? 1, 2, and 3. Ocean's
we'll just go with that. No, that'll be one of them. No. 3 different ones. So I'll give you one for Ocean's 11. I'll go ahead and give it to you. You got one? You give me one? I know you have one on you, man. I know you have one in you.
God, dude. Okay.
I'm going to give it to you. I'm
terrible at this.
So we're going to go with the Ocean's 11. I'm going to go with ones I think you already know. No, I'm going to name some that I know that when I name it, you're going to be like, dude, I knew it. So we have the Ocean's 11, which I'm sure you already seen before. Let's go down. That's a long list too. The Hangover. I know you've seen The Hangover. Come on now. Right.
Oh, jeez.
I know you've seen The Hangover. Not only The Hangover, let me find another one. There's so much of them in here. We got Jason Bourne. That's weird. And just to go through some lists, did you know that the Paul Blart Mall Cop was taped in Wynn?
The Mall Cop was in Vegas?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Part 2. Yes, sir. Part 2 was taped in Wynn. Yeah. And let's go down the list. So name a little couple of more that people might not know. Let's see. We got the Guilt Trip. That was taped out here. Some other ones. There's a lot of other ones that are small time that I don't know. We got the you can't forget Casino.
See, I should have got a Casino.
Iron Man at Caesar's Palace. Yeah. Right. Casino. I know that was one of my favorites. I love Casino, man. What else we had in here that we might know?
I love Dodgeball.
I love that one. The True Underdog Story. That was at the Monte Carlo Resort. Yes. Dodgeball was a real good movie. And then my favorite one is 3,000 Miles to Graceland. That was a real good movie. That was 2001. And that's 3,000 Miles to Graceland. Yeah, that was real good. Yeah, man. So, yeah, we got to get Vegas. We got to get you out here. I got to come see you. Let me know about some food. What's the best food spot out there? The best? I'm a foodie out here in Las Vegas. So what will be a place that you were,
Well, I got to tell you, one of my jobs I have here, because I do have 2 jobs. I work at a local hospital out here, but I also am a server at a national champion barbecue restaurant called Getting Basted. And they have the best barbecue you've ever had in your life. I'll send you pictures. It's just, it has ribs that are just melt off the bone. They're not fall off the bone. They're melt off the bone. Like I get couples that want to share them. So they try to pick them up and try to hand them over. And they just fall apart because they can't hand them over because the meat just falls right off of there. So Our burnt ends are amazing.
Jesus.
Oh yeah, it's all good. We've been featured in Food Network, Pitmasters. We've been
Burnt
featured,
ends.
Guys Groceries, and yeah, so we got some great food.
Right. I'm catching a red eye right now. We're coming out there. You said burn it. Man, that sounds good. I mean, just the name alone, Getting Basted, that is, I would definitely do a review on them. I know you guys have, you guys have weird appetizers?
We actually have,
like,
from
weird appetizers
2018,
that are good.
the Missouri's Best Nachos from Food Network, which is really good. We have, we have these pork tacos, basted mac and cheese for an appetizer, which is really good. Yeah, our wings are award winning too. We got some wings that'll just knock your socks off.
Wow. What's your favorite flavor?
I'm a wimp.
Wings?
I can't take anything spicy. I'm just doing plain barbecue, and that's it.
Oh, plain barbecue? Yeah. I mean, I'm not a spicy guy either, but I'm a lemon pepper guy with ranch. Lemon pepper.
Yeah, we keep it kind of basic when it comes to things like that. It's just, hot barbecue, hot buffalo, and one we have called ancho chili, which is kind of a spicy, limey kind of barbecue sauce, which is pretty good.
Wow. Yeah, that sounds good. That would be a place I know I would enjoy. Also, a family environment place. It sounds that the family could probably enjoy eating that. That sounds good. Getting Basted. I will definitely look them up. Yeah. Thank you. DJ SKOOB, I appreciate you joining me tonight. Before I head out of here, I want you to let the audience know your social media handle and also your podcast and all the platforms.
Absolutely. So if you want to listen to my podcast, once again, it's the Undiscovered Entrepreneur, because I interview entrepreneurs that have yet to be discovered because they're less than a year in their business. And you could find me on all the major platforms, especially Spotify, because we talked about that one. But pretty much anywhere you're listening to podcasts, you could find me. If you want to get a hold of me for anything, please get a hold of me at uepodcast2021@gmail.com. On my Twitter, you could try. I always answer my Twitter. If you ask anybody, I am pretty much right on spot on the Twitter at DJ SKOOB. That's SKOOB 2021. So you can reach me anytime there. And please visit my website for any kind of if you want any kind of resources. If you want to join my email list, I do have a little giveaway there about a few things. If you join my email list, so please do that. And Coyal, it's been amazing.
Yes, sir. Man, it's likewise. If you're listening, DJ SKOOB, Undiscovered Entrepreneur, check out the podcast. That podcast is definitely knowledge, filled with knowledge that you can definitely take, whether if you're a small business owner, aspiring small business owner, or even if you just love the knowledge of running business, definitely look out. Or even if you're an investor, the investors, check out the podcast. You can get a lot of businesses right there in one shot. DJ SKOOB, I appreciate you. If you are in Branson, Missouri, remember this is Vegas Ventures Off. This is the 6th edition in Branson, Missouri. Check out Getting Basted. You can also see DJ SKOOB there live. You better hurry up because the way his podcast is going, he's not going to be there for long. He's going to be, this man's going to be something big. I want to thank you, DJ SKOOB.
All right, thank you, Coyal. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Love you guys. You guys take care and tune in next time. And thank you for Visit Vegas Places. Good night, you guys.